Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Yvonne and you are watching Go Yvonne. Usually I make videos about my travels in China and outside of China, but today I have a different type of video for you. In today's video, as you could see in the title, I'm going to tell you about what it is like to be teaching online during the outbreak of the coronavirus. If you follow me on Instagram or on my Facebook page, you know that a couple of days ago I asked you guys if you had any questions about teaching online. As you probably can imagine, the past couple of weeks have been pretty busy for me and hectic as we were switching as a school and me as a teacher from actually face-to-face teaching to online teaching. So it took a while, but finally I have some time to make this video for you. Things started to change about 4 weeks ago. This is when the coronavirus first broke out and people realized how serious the situation was. For me at that time, nothing was changing yet. Our school was just going to start as usual. That situation changed quickly though, because soon we got an email saying that we were going to postpone classes for a day and that the first day teachers would have to come back and get prepped for the children to arrive at school, so we would all know what to do and to make sure everybody would stay healthy and safe. As the situation started to worsen, things changed for our school as well. Actually, for schools in all over China, things changed a lot. Schools first heard that they had to postpone classes for one day, but it wasn't long after that they heard that they had to postpone classes for 2 weeks. That meant that children were not going to be able to go to school for at least 2 weeks and that the schools had to come up with some alternatives for learning. After getting the news that schools had to postpone their classes for 2 weeks, the government quickly changed that again and they made it indefinite. So up until today, we still don't know when we can go back to school. I have been teaching online now for about 2.5 weeks. We started our third week of online teaching this week, and as you can imagine, it's a really big change. It's something completely different, not just for me as a teacher, but also for my students, also for my students, their parents, just for everybody involved. It's so different from what we usually do, so everybody is learning a lot just because we're having to teach online. Schools take different approaches when it comes to teaching online. I can only speak for myself. At my school we use Seesaw, which is an app. Luckily my students were already familiar with that app because we use it in the classroom as well, so I think that really helped a lot. It is an app where I can assign activities to my students, to different groups of students. I can upload videos and they can complete those activities independently or with a little bit of support from their parents, and then they upload them to Seesaw again, or they reply in the activity with a template I might have given them. And once they have completed their activity, which may be something that they wrote, a short video that they made, I go over those activities, go over their responses, give them feedback and approve their posts, and then they'll get it back and they can look at that. So Seesaw is one of the things that we use at our school and that a lot of schools have been using, but we use more. Besides Seesaw, I also use Zoom, and Zoom is a program or an app that until we started this whole online learning I had never heard of before. It is actually a really good and useful app. I use Zoom to schedule meetings with my students with. Twice a week I meet with my students on Zoom. I meet them in small groups, and those small group meetings are used for mini lessons. We review some things we have learned before. We talk about how we are doing, how we're feeling, because it's a difficult time for all of us, especially for my children who cannot go outside, who cannot play with their friends, not be at school. It's really difficult for them. So the Zoom meetings are really good to stay in touch with them and talk to them and have that face-to-face time. As you can see, it's quite different to be teaching online compared to teaching in a classroom where you can actually see your students and your students can interact with each other. I hope that this video answered some of your questions about what it is like to be teaching online during the outbreak of the coronavirus. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below because I'm happy to answer them. Also, if you have questions about what life is like right now here in Beijing during this time, let me know as well, because if there are enough questions, I might make a video about that as well. Thank you for watching the video, and let's hope that the situation will be under control soon and that everything can go back to normal again.